Go ahead, take us in, Grant.
I'm not recording yet.
We are.
Yeah.
Are we?
Is my right. Welcome to Twigs and Wigs.
Baby.
The podcast about music.
Sometimes.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Johnny Jones. I got my man Grant with me. Say what's up, Grant.
What's up, Grant?
There you go. You happy now?
I'm pretty happy, yeah.
You
I'm
bastard. And I got my man Steve with me. What's up, Steve?
Sorry, I wasn't listening to it. What was that? Sorry.
I said I got my man Steve with me. Say what's up, Steve.
Oh, me. Sorry. Hi, guys. It's been a tough day.
See, it's always awkward.
You guys are weird.
There's nothing you can say. It's just...
You guys are weird. So, fun fact
Side
to
note.
all of our listeners and viewers, Grant got mad one episode because I was hosting, and he was like, "Why do you always say what's up, Steve, first, and you don't say what's up, Grant, first? And like, it's always weird because like I don't want to say it last, and I don't want to be last." So I was like, today I said, well, I'm hosting again. I'm gonna switch it up. And now he's all happy. You guys, if you're
Pretty
listening,
happy.
you should go check the YouTube out because he's like over here cheesing, look like a little kid, man, on his way to the park playground. Or something.
Hey, they should feel so lucky. I very rarely smile.
That is true.
It's a very good point.
True. 'Tis true. So anyway, these are the boys, including me. Well, I'm a man, so.
You're the
Oh,
youngest
yeah.
here, mate.
Oh yeah, still makes me a man. But nah, man. So anyway, this is Bones, Twigs, and Wigs podcast. We appreciate you guys for listening, checking us out, however you're doing it, via streaming, via the interwebs, whatever you have. I guess I don't know. Anyway. We thank you. Now, if you're a regular listener, you would know that we have this thing called vinyl impressions. But today, we're going to kind of put that to the side. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to do an album review. And there's a new album out by one of my personal favorites. This guy is a living legend, and his name is Nasir Jones, also known as Nas. Yes, I put his whole government out there because I love this guy, man. He's amazing.
Is it because he shares the same last name as you?
Yeah. We're related somewhere down the line.
You've never listened to his music, have you? It's
I
just...
have.
Just a family thing.
I have. I listen to him like every day. But yeah, man. So, we're going to get into this album. Unfortunately, we don't have like a record or anything. I'm trying to find some LPs. Hopefully he releases like, some actual vinyl. So we will see about that.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does, I'm definitely going to get my hands on it, man, because that'll be pretty dope. I'm going to see if I can find some screenshots, though. Not screenshots, but some actual pictures of like the cover, man, because like the cover and the back cover, like the track list is like amazing.
Really
Let's
cool.
see. Yeah,
I'll put them on screen for the guys.
Yeah,
I've seen the-
share it real quick.
I've seen the cover just because it shows up
It's on
on like your Apple...
Yeah, can you guys see that?
with
Yeah,
the
it's
little
cool.
cherubs and...
Yeah, man, it's crazy, and like when you really look at the cherubs, they look like black babies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's beautiful. This is and I say that because this is a very black album.
Yeah.
Very. I mean, it's just like it's just very pro-black, but then at the same time, it's very memory lane-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just kind of going back in time and just kind of sharing stories, of course. But that's typical Nas. He's always like, trying to share stories of like his past or like how things used to be back in the day, how things should be nowadays and stuff like that. So yeah, it's super dope. I mean, just like looking at this album cover, what do you guys think is saying? Like you got the throne, you got the crown, and then you see all of this like food at the bottom.
He's got the treasure and the
Yeah,
the
you know,
sickle or machete.
It's like
machete.
it's like he's got like some papaya down there. You know, it's like a boar's head over here, some fish.
It's all like the classical sort of Renaissance artwork.
Yeah.
King's Feast, basically, isn't it? I mean, that's what it is. I think, or like the because they always have like the boar's head or the pig's head on the table when they eat the feasts, and but you got the skull down there with the machete as well, which I suppose it's touching on different elements.
Mm.
Oh, I haven't looked at it this closely before, to be honest. So. Oh, the snake.
Yes.
Just noticed the snake.
I mean, to be honest, like it's the same for me because like I've been looking at it like on my phone on Apple Music, and like you can kind of still see the detail, but yeah, like this is like perfect, bro. Like this is like very, very up close and personal, and there's so much detail in this artwork, bro. It's ridiculous. Let's see.
But the King's disease, that's gout.
Right. Exactly.
Which is like eating too much rich food, which I imagine.
Yeah, and he talks about it. It's like it's pretty much when you're having, you know, just too much, like too much of something is bad for you, you know. And back in the day, like they called it King's disease because, you know, a king, of course, has everything, and he's like consuming everything, you know, and then when you're doing all of that, you end up with gout, you know. So
yeah, I was about to say like King's disease is gout,
right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, you know, we consider it gout, but back in the day, like before gout was gout, it was King's disease. Trying to look up this word because you see how like his name, you see how they got King's disease wrapped around the top part.
But because bin means with or and,
right?
Bin
so
is son of. No, it's Oludara wasn't that like his dad's name?
But I was going to say, is that Nasir with his mum and dad?
Son of Oludara, but Oludara means I think it means protector or server.
Yeah, I mean, you can always look it up.
But I think he's giving himself it's giving himself a majestic name, like Nas, son of Oludara Jones. You know, it's very. For lack of a better term right now, it's very Game of Thronesy, or I don't know. It's almost kind of Celtic-y, you know, like or Viking-like, you know. You have people with names like Magnuson and all that.
Yeah, so
amongst like Nordic families, so it means because you're always the son of this person or this person, son of this person. That's what
they always have,
I
like
think.
Svensson at the end or Eriksson.
I would assume it's that. Tell me if I'm wrong, but
bin can be and or with, but like say it does mean son of in like Osama bin Laden. I don't know if that's a dreadful example,
so
but
it's actually Arabic.
That's what I was going to say. That's Arabic.
Because Nazir, his first name, it means is Arabic for helper and protector, and then bin, son of, and then of course Oludara, which is his dad's name. But yeah, so that's his full legal name right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's his actual full legal name. And yeah, man. But I'm trying to figure out what that meaning, that wording like right underneath his name. Yeah, man. Like I've been trying to look it up and it's kind of like vague, it's not really showing me. It says if Africa was never colonized by Europe. There's like a article about it.
Doesn't it just mean Africa?
It says in Arabic it means the land of the blacks.
Yeah, wow. It's just what Africa is called.
It's amazing. Yeah, you learn something new every day.
At least that one. I know the one word means Africa.
I don't know.
It's like a very old way. It's like an old timey way to say Africa.
Mm.
I don't know what the Oba means, but no.
Is it Oba or is it OBA?
Yeah, OBA.
Yeah, Oba.
No,
Oba?
I mean, is it an acronym or is it a...
Oh, yeah. I would assume it's a word.
Yeah, I think it's actually a word.
Yeah,
let me see.
but Alkebulan is and I'm definitely not saying that right. I'm awful with accents. But
it means ruler.
Alkebulan.
The king of Africa. Okay.
Yeah, it means ruler.
King of the land.
So I guess.
That makes sense. King's disease. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
So he's just putting lots of like royal sort of titleage on his album cover, which makes sense for an album called King's Disease.
He's he's crowned himself a long time ago, I suppose, and this is another.
Well, he's the king of New York. You know.
Mhm.
Ask anybody who isn't a Jay-Z fan. Ask anybody who listened to the Ether. It's literally isn't that literally like a term in hip hop now? If you got ethered, you just got ripped so hard you could never come back from it. Because
it's like it's not a term that we use all the time, but it makes sense. Like it
might be a very New York term, but
not. I'm not even gonna say that. Like because like I feel like in hip hop you would just say, oh yeah, like he got bodied, like somebody bodied him, son. Like
Bodied.
he bodied this track, like meaning like we took your body and just we killed you. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm gonna bring that into England. I'm gonna start saying that, yo man, I bodied you.
I just bodied you, son.
I like ethered way more. Ethered I just like how
ethered.
Yeah.
I feel like
because of the diss track.
Yeah, you know, and I feel like that probably
a word. you got ethered.
Yeah, I feel like that was probably like a once upon a time type of thing. But like lately, nobody's been getting ethered. Like nobody's been getting bodied so hard, like on a diss track. Like it's been kind of chill
nice
lately.
thing, but yeah, that was kind of the nice thing about Nas and Jay-Z ripping each other is that a couple of years down the road, I think, was it maybe MTV or someone, they did an interview where they sat them next to each other and they just talked about their rivalry.
Yes.
Like they were cool. It was literally just like a competitive rivalry.
Yeah.
They were just, it was like sport. I like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like I'm going to shoot you. It was I just want to beat you.
It wasn't. It didn't get as heated as like Biggie and Tupac or anything like that.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's
Thank
true.
God.
It's nice.
But like
nice.
I love that.
There's a respect to it.
I love that interview because Jay talks about the song that he dropped before Ether, and he was like, "Yeah, man, that was like the 5 fingers of death, man. Like, ain't no coming back from that." And then Nas is like, "Yeah, man, and I just lit a bomb, boom." and then like whoever edited the video, they go straight to the Ether track, So he's like, "Yeah, man, I just lit a bomb, boom." And then, "Oh, do this so like Ether, who is the king? Like just goes off. Bro.
How many more of Biggie's rhymes are gonna come out your fat lips,
bro? My man went in, and what's crazy is Jay, I think somebody asked Jay, like, well, why didn't you respond or something like that to Ether? And, I think Jay was like, man, my mom called his mom or his mom called my mom. Then they both called us and was like, yo, you guys got to stop because it's getting a little out of hand. So, I guess
people would probably take it more personally than those actual two were, right?
Yeah, and that's, that's what happens in hip hop. Like everybody thinks this beef thing is like a real thing, and it's real hatred behind it, but it's just it's the art of hip hop. It's how you iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying?
It's where every artist has come up. There's not many that have come up without some sort of battle background, have they? So.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like everybody just kind of like it's almost like a marketing thing too. Like you got hip hop beef. Both parties are gonna get put into the limelight. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the way that it works. So yeah, man, it's very interesting.
Have you just before you turn it off? Have you noticed that one of the cherubs has a pearl and there's one more just underneath the crown? Have they fallen off the crown? Because to me, it looks like there's a pearl missing from one of the spikes on the crown, and it's fallen off.
That's a good point because one fell off the crown and it is sitting on the throne. It's sitting on the chair.
Yeah, the cherub's holding another one in the left part.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's got to mean something to me. That's the artist is putting that in for some reason.
Man, it's deep, bro. It's deep.
Well, it's a good example of why we hope that hope it comes out on a physical copy, like a vinyl, where you can appreciate the artwork.
Right.
Like we always say when we're doing the vinyl impressions episodes, you know.
Mm-hmm. Ultra black.
Oh, that's the ultra black one. I don't know who put this up there. It's whack.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the track list. And yeah, man. Let's get into it. So King's Disease, guys. What do you guys think? The song. The first track.
It's fairly short. I actually thought it was going to get going a bit more than it did. I was waiting for it to really go,
Yeah.
but I know it's an introduction.
Right.
So, it did its job.
Yeah.
I got really hung up on one particular line
Mm-hmm.
where he says like this. What was it? It was like the stupidest Africans are the ones
Oh,
that
yeah.
discovered
I was gonna
algebra.
mention.
That's a fact. I'm like, that's not a fact at all. I'm like that. I just remember sitting there. I was like rewinding. Did I miss something? No, I didn't.
To me, that line stood out because
I think he's just wrong.
well, the fact that Nas is such an intelligent guy as well, to use the term the stupidest part of it, to me, just it's just really clumsy. It's a really clumsy line. I know he's trying to say something beautiful and strong, but
yeah,
to
right.
me,
But
it's
I don't
clumsy.
know. I don't know what he's trying to say.
Well, he's trying to say that
like he's trying to say it's
the black created algebra.
I don't know.
Something.
I kept trying to think to myself like, well, what's he trying to get across from that? Like, he's trying to say that like a lot of the greatest minds or greatest people come out of oppression or come out of hard times, or like when he says the stupidest part of Africa, does he mean slaves or?
I don't know if he's talking about a specific country in Africa. That's what I wasn't, because he said the stupidest part of Africa produced blacks that started algebra. That's the exact line. It just didn't. It just didn't.
That's what I
vibe with
mean.
me at all.
It's like I was trying to figure out, is there an obvious thing that I'm missing to that line? But it's definitely like the one line that like stood out for me in that track. I'm just keep listening to it. Like it sticks out like such a fucking sore thumb.
Yeah,
and then he kind of, I don't know, it serves as kind of like an overture to the album, don't you think? It's like he talks a little bit about, doesn't he actually talk about having gout?
No, like he
kind
talks
of, but
about
not really. Like
he talks about like the definition.
he talks about. I swear at one point during, it might not be in this track, it might have been in one of the later ones, but
it's called The Definition, the track name.
Oh, that's the one where he actually talks about like having swollen toes and shit.
Yeah, like at the end.
That's at the end of the album.
Yeah, no, it goes close to the end, but at the end of the song, he stops rapping and he starts talking, and he's like, yeah, the definition of King's Disease, and boom, 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 and starts like going in.
Yeah, what did you think of the first track then, Johnny? I mean, did you pick up on that that line as well? I mean, that line is, it seems like it
really sticks out to me.
I was going to say, it sticks out. The music fits around it to make it stand out, because I think he's trying to say something very, very powerful. But to me, it didn't work because it stood out so much. It's just, for me, it was the term stupidest. It sounds almost patronizing to me. I don't know. It didn't sit well for me. That
part.
Well, yeah, but it's not. He's not saying that people. He's not saying that people are stupid. He's saying it like with.
Yeah, he's saying even the worst part of Africa can still produce
the stupidest
algebra.
part of Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right.
But I
mean, and I think that's just like, it's just the kind of, it's weird because, he's clearly trying to like say that, Africa is so, so big and so powerful and so intelligent that like even the stupidest part, like you guys said, like even the stupidest part of Africa can still be like as smart or smarter than, like, yeah. So, I just looked up something. Somebody did a review and they said that, even though the development of algebra has since been, attributed to ancient Greece, China, India, and Islamic.
It's the Middle East.
I always isn't it? Is
really
Arabic Islam thing, but
But
Yeah.
but here it is. So it says it turns out that mathematicians from the northeast corner of Africa were some of the first to ever do it, and that's all.
Well,
it is. It's
that's the
just-
same area, I guess.
Exactly.
And,
you know,
and
so-
that's why so many like Black Americans, or I think just Black people in general, a lot of them. I should really not to say Black people in general, but you know, so many.
It's a minefield. It's a minefield.
Yeah, I know, right? But so many of them tend to like convert to
Muslim.
Islam because if they trace back their ancestry, they tend to come from, say, like
It's like Somalia
that
and
section of
Africa.
Africa,
Right.
which is very close to the Middle East,
Mhm.
and those nations inherently tend to be Islamic.
exactly right.
So they convert to Islam because that's their heritage. Like it's
lot of the
literally,
Bedouin
where
tribes
it's
are-
their roots.
Yeah,
their
a lot of
roots
the
are
Bedouin
in,
tribes
in
that go
an
from
Islamic
Saudi.
nation. Yeah.
They go from Saudi to Africa and back and trade amongst each other, and you know that sort of area was so
Yeah.
movable.
Well, that makes more sense now. If it's yeah. I mean, I didn't look up algebra any further than I already knew about it. So
Yeah. Well, so you know, but it's funny that you guys that one stood out to you because like I was just thinking about every time I listen to a song, I don't let one line stick out to me like that, or at least I try not to. I always try to think about the title and then see how that title ties into the actual song and actual lyrics. So of course, you know, King's Disease, overindulgence on top of your game. Meaning like, you know, you're at the top and you think that nothing's going to stop you, and then you just fall into this pit, you know what I'm saying, that you put yourself in, really.
well, yeah, it's the you walk up the steps in wooden shoes and you descend the hill in silk slippers.
Right.
The descent comes quick because you could very easily slip in those silk slippers,
you
but
know?
they're very comfy.
Yeah, and he actually did an interview with the Breakfast Club, Hot 97, it's a radio station around here, well, in New York, and he talks about, you know, the definition. He says, you know, don't disease yourself with power and greed, you know. So it's very interesting. I think honestly he was throwing some shots at, you know, he was talking to himself, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, like encouraging yourself through your own music, or talking about yourself through your own music. He was doing that to himself, but I think he was also talking to some of the other rappers right now who are on top of their game and who are considered like kings in the game right now. And that can be young or old. I honestly think, and I might be wrong, and he didn't seem like it during the interview, but I think he threw a lot of shots at Jay.
Probably.
Or
Probably.
people like Jay, people who have came, you know, kind of like in his what's the word I'm looking for? Warpath. You know, like over the years, you know. And I say that because I actually wrote some notes. I said I feel that Nas, now getting older, has to remind himself, or chooses to remind himself and remind or enlighten the younger generation into knowing that there are a few things from our culture that started from him. Just like any great, you got Lil Wayne with dreads, like that was a trend, you know, like honestly speaking, bro, like, you know, we see a lot of like African Americans, a lot of black people, young black males with like dreadlocks nowadays. And there was like a time where like it was like really getting out of hand. Like everybody had dreads, like for real, you know. That's one of the reasons why I'm like so determined not to, you know, like do dreads, you know what I'm saying, with my hair. But yeah, like Wayne, and I get it, you know, like he wasn't the first to do dreadlocks or anything like that, but he was like one of the first in hip hop culture to have dreads. Him, Busta Rhymes, like Busta Rhymes did it way back in like the 90s.
You mean like legit, real
Like
dirty style dreads, not
well, not
Yeah.
not really
Not
dirty
like
style
those-
dreads.
not like those neat
What we
braids
call-
that people have.
It's what we call locks. You know what I'm saying? Like some people call them dreadlocks. Some people just call them dreads are like the dirty, naughty ones. But then you just got locks.
but where they're like twisted in, as
no.
opposed to like not actual like braided
Yeah,
hair.
nah,
You
not
mean like
braid-
actually
yeah.
kind of
Mhm. Yeah, twisted in it. Yeah, and
the
it's
more
like, and it's-
grungy version of it, even
and
if
it-
it's
and-
neat like that.
right, and it's actually
Like
locked.
Little Yachty or something now, right? Like Little Yachty has those like red
Little,
ones.
Little
is it
Yachty
Lil
has
Yachty?
He's got the braids. That's the one with the red
Oh, he's
hair.
a braided. Fuck, see, I can't.
So,
I don't
so
fucking
his
know.
his are like.
This is the
what we
first
call
I've had hair in like
plaits.
10 years. Fucking give me a break.
But it's just black hair, you know. But like for
Post Malone has
example,
braids.
you know, Wayne started the dreadlocks, and then everybody started getting dreads. I've talked about this in one other episode how Wayne started skateboarding, then all these kids wanted to get a skateboard. Then, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Jay-Z with the fitted caps. You know, Jay-Z had the new era fitted caps on and bringing them all the way down. People were rocking fitted caps for like a while.
I'm still a big advocate of like fitted caps.
What
by the
fitted
way.
caps? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I love a good fitted.
As a
prefer these
regularly
ones.
no, not that.
Nah,
No, I
that's
said I prefer these ones. I was
Get
gonna
that
say I prefer these
shit.
ones.
Yeah, we've had this conversation
Oh, man.
before.
These are better. These are better.
Get-
This is like when I'm going
Get
fishing.
them curb ribs
When I'm
out
going
of my
fishing, man,
face.
this looks good. What's wrong with you? I don't.
But then you got Tupac with the bandanas. Remember, you know how Pac used to wear the bandana around his head.
They're
and-
not here. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So people used to, you know, like that was like another trend. And then Biggie with the Coogee. You know, Biggie put
Yeah, man.
Coogee on the map, like with the Coogee
Biggie-
sweaters.
Yeah, Biggie brought in all the nice shit.
Yeah, man. You know,
you see him in
was
those
kinda-
giant pinstripes with the top hats and shit. You know?
Right, you know. So so I say all of that to say, you know, I said Nas is getting into the habit of announcing his trends that he set. And I think he's starting to do that the older he gets because there's a song that he made called Album Done. And this was before he dropped the Lost Tape 2. He did this song with DJ Khaled. It's called Album Done, and he just like goes in. The song is like fire, but he says a line. He says, "I made the fade famous."
Like the hair
hold up.
fade.
No. So actually, in this song, he says, "I made the fade famous." Yeah, like the hair fade. The chain famous. He talks about the signature fade with like the half crescent moon part. You know, right there.
Like this thing.
Something like that. No.
Like what?
No.
Like what Mike Tyson was rocking in the 80s. No.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he says, and then he's also, when he's talking about the chain, he's talking about the Cuban link. So there's like a certain link chain called the Cuban link, and there's an interview about that with Nas and Rakim, where like Rakim's talking about like the big rope chain that Rakim actually made popular. You know, on that Eric B and Rakim, I think it was Paid in Full on that album cover. Rakim had that big old,
yeah.
Rakim had that big rope chain. I think it had like the Mercedes
Yeah, it goes down to
medallion.
like here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Rakim made that rope chain like pop, you know, so that was another trend set right there.
I would have
And then-
never noticed that.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? I know what you're
Mhm.
talking about because I've got the album, but I mean,
Mhm.
I would, and I never have
Mhm.
I noticed anything that particular about someone's style.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah, I mean,
maybe because I'm such a loser.
No. I think it's
You
just
know.
like it's the time. You got to remember too, like, you know,
I'm older than you. I
imagine-
should know these things.
Yeah, but you're also.
In Australia?
Let's just blame it. Let's just blame it on being Aussie.
Blame
Just
it on
not-
blame it on my roots.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because because I say that for real. Like, you know, I say that because you gotta imagine growing up right next to these guys. Like, I can only imagine growing up right next to these guys. I'm like, let's say I'm the same age as or around the same age as Rakim, and Rakim drops Paid in Full, and I'm looking at his album cover. He's got this rope chain, and like it's a chain that I've never seen before. I'm gonna be like, yo, I gotta get me a chain just like that. And it's the
Right,
same with
yeah.
Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like Nas dropped the Cuban link, and that jump just looks so pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like it make you say, like, dang, man, what's that chain called right there? You know what I'm saying? So so you know, he was the first to like kind of like put that on the map and make that look big. And then, like I said about the song Album Done, he said in that song, it's not on this album, but
No, it's not a different one.
that's the Khaled joint. So he says
the one from
last
2 years,
time-
like year and a half
yeah,
ago.
it's been about 2
Like
years
18
probably.
months? 2018 or 19, right?
Yeah, about to say 2017 or 18. Yeah. But he says this dope line where he's like, last time I checked, I was still breathing. My neck was still freezing. Now everybody got an Escobar season. to every baby on the album cover existing, this trend I was setting, it came to fruition. I'm assisting to push the culture forward. Like, when you think about it, bro, this nigga just said to every baby on the album cover existing, this trend I was setting, it came to fruition. Like, you remember his very first album, Illmatic.
Still the best. Still the best.
Yes.
Right. So the album cover is his baby picture. He was.
That's right. Yeah. Biggie copied it, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so many others. You know what I'm saying? The Game.
And Biggie called himself on it. He was like, he said, yeah, bro, I took it. Yeah.
Like, so many people, and that's still happening today. People are dropping these albums and they're putting that. It's almost like what you have to do now, I guess, like as a rapper. You know,
if you want to get real deep on that, you could say that he took that idea from Nirvana.
I was going to say, I was about to say the same thing.
If you wanted to get real specific,
you really could.
The white man had the idea first. You know,
no, like you really could. But I tell you this, because I think I feel like we talked about this, or I listened to somebody else talk about this. But we gotta put those dates together. So, because Nirvana, they dropped that album 93. 91.
No.
You sure?
I think
it's 91.
I thought it was 92.
No, because 93, 94, they're putting out like fucking heart-shaped bucks and stuff.
Let's find out.
Didn't he die in 94?
I'm saying 92, but let's have a look.
All right, so
I'm gonna say 91. So I'm not looking at my phone, so I'm quite happy to lose this argument.
Never mind. Released in 1991. But yeah, Come As You Are was 92, Lithium was 92, and In Bloom was 92. That's what I was thinking, because the singles came later, didn't they? Obviously,
that's the thing. That's the thing that trips people up, because you've got it, and this is something that I've said a lot, and why I like doing vinyl impressions all the time. It's because it forces you to listen to the full album. And then you start to think about the album, because the album is the piece of art, not the singles that people hear on the radio.
Right.
The things that people hear on the radio are just little tiny snippets and samples that are meant to sell the art.
Right.
Which is why albums are important, because
definitely
albums are the real thing.
Yeah. So
by the way, holy shit, we've only done the cover and the first track so far.
I know.
Oh my God, I need to get another drink.
Yeah, what time we got? Because
I can do this all. I can do this all fucking.
No, I was about to say we might have to do part 2, because I'm going in, son. But no.
I know. Let's go deep. I'm just saying, if we're gonna go this deep, I need to refill.
Yeah, I got you.
But
so
put my stand in Steve. On that.
I got you. So but yeah, like just speaking of that, like he brings up a good point, because you know, that album, that was the Nevermind album, right?
Yeah.
So that dropped in 91, and then the Nas Illmatic joint dropped in 94. He was recording in like 92, 93, and then, you know, of course it dropped in 94. So I mean, that could be a good point, man, and that says a lot about, you know, I could say he wasn't the first to do it, and he might even say I wasn't the first to do it, but he was definitely the first in hip hop to do that.
And to be fair, the baby in Nevermind is not one of the guys in the band. It's just a baby.
That too. I mean, I didn't even think about that. That is true. It's just like a random baby.
Yeah,
like
it's not
chasing a dollar.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great album cover, but it's not a biographical thing like this. I think if you ask any music fan to name an album with a baby on the front cover, 9 out of 10 would Nirvana. I think that. Because it's such an iconic image, but then after that it'd probably be Biggie or
it'd be Biggie or Nas or whoever, because like it's so many, bro. Like I'm telling you, like just in hip hop culture, I don't know why, but a lot of these rappers, man, like they always go for the baby pictures. You know what I'm saying? And Nas was one of the first people to do that. So I love the fact that, you know, Nas has gotten to that age. Where, you know, he's like I said, like he has to remind people and he has to enlighten people. Like, yo, like y'all might be thinking that I'm old, bro. Yeah. But like I was the first to do all of this, son. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that you guys are doing. Old. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But but people know that he's old, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows that, Nas is he's still out here killing it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like he was one of the first people to do a lot of the stuff that a lot of these cats are doing. And like he said, I'm assisting to push the culture forward. Like he's just trying to, do his thing. Like he's a student of the game, a teacher now, you know what I'm saying? Pioneer, definitely, So yeah, like he's just like, trying to keep things moving, man. Like he's true to hip hop, I also put that he threw jabs at Jay-Z. He said, I think one of the first lines actually in King's Disease, he says, "Without masonry, I made more money to play with." Funny enough, let's see. I don't know if you guys seen the meme or the it's a meme or it's like a post, but funny enough, Jay-Z purposely releases well, we don't know if it's on purpose or not. Jay hasn't spoke about it, but it says Jay releases tracks as soon as Nas does and attempts to overthrow him and troll him. So that's why I just find it funny that like they both just kind of go back and forth. And this is actually like a literal fact. So Stillmatic dropped December 18th, 2001. Unplugged by Jay-Z, December 18th, 2001. Street Disciples by Nas, November 30th, 2004. Collision Course, November 30th, 2004.
Do you think that it probably helps both of them to maintain a rivalry? Even if it's like a healthy sporty rivalry, if it's gonna,
of course,
it's like, oh, Jay-Z's coming out with something. What's Nas gonna do?
Of course, because bro, like when you get ethered, bro, and you can't ether him back, like you know what I'm saying? Like what else are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And it keeps each other going. You know what I'm saying?
Wait until what happens when all that shit that Nas has invested in goes public, and he suddenly overnight becomes a billionaire. Hey. Like, let's Jay-Z better enjoy the fact that he's richer for the next couple of years while he can, So Nas is gonna one day just suddenly become the richest guy in hip hop.
But check this out. So Nas's greatest hits, November 6, 2007, American Gangster by Jay-Z, November 6, 2007.
That's an album. That's a good album.
It is a good album. Nasir, June 15th, 2018, Everything Is Love, June 16th, 2018. So that was the one off right there. He dropped it a day late.
He wasn't ready.
Right. And then check this one out. He's like, oh, Nas dropped the album? Oh crap.
He's probably on his private plane going somewhere going, no. Right. Like the internet's gone.
I've got no reception. I can't put it online.
Somebody call my publisher.
He'll be having the conversations that I saw you two having about dropping last week's episode.
Oh God, that's so confusing.
Check this out.
We're like, are we going to do it? I can't do it. I'm at work. I can't get to the computer.
But this is a funny one right here. And even Nas laughed at this one because he was like, bro, like, nah, this is bullcrap. So the last one is The Lost Tapes 2, July 19th, 2019. Beyonce, Jay-Z, The Lion King album, July 19th, 2019. So everybody was like, come on, bro. Like the Lion King album, like it's not that serious. But
he's just keeping face at that point. He's just like,
exactly.
He might even be thinking, you know what? This is really all I'm working on.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
Why
like
not?
this is all I got going on in the studio right now.
He's probably sitting there thinking, Nas will probably find this pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would like to think that I would like to think that like Jay-Z is like that cooler dude where he would just do it for a laugh.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a billionaire. Like
yeah, it's like you gotta have some fun, right?
Why would you have beef with anybody if you had $1 billion?
Well, I mean, because like,
you're a winner. But
yeah, but sometimes,
if you're
man, no, like sometimes like you do have some people who they have more money than you, but for some reason they're still jealous because at the end of the day, man, like money doesn't get you everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you really on top? with all of the dollar bills that you got? And the answer is no. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know, you might be chasing all of the fame over here too, and all of the recognition for being like a great or being such and such. And then you got all of this money over here, but you know, this is really what you want. You know, that power and that fame and that recognition. And I think that's what Jay is chasing after, man. And that's hip hop, bro. Because like back in the day, money didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It was who is the best, who is the greatest. Like that's really what matters, like in hip hop. Nowadays it's like, oh yeah, who got the most money? But that's because of just the times that we live in.
Well,
know?
because now, especially as well, because now like an avenue like hip hop has become a very lucrative avenue to go down.
Right.
If you get to the, you know, that particular, if you break through that particular ceiling, you can make a lot of money. So now, like back in the like 80s or whatever, it's like, and especially the early 80s and that, you couldn't make a lot of money.
It was still tapes out of a car.
It was a culture thing. Like you could get by, like, and even in the 90s and that, you know, there are some people are making lots of money and selling out lots of tickets and that, but for the most part, like the majority of the scene is still very much like underground. But underground doesn't really exist anymore, you know? Like
You're right, that's true too.
Because everybody has the exact same
sacred. Everything, everybody's known now. There's no secrets anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that can be good or bad. You know, it depends on how you look at it. But you know, like everybody has the exact same potential of exposure now, which is very good. But
it does mean the cream doesn't necessarily rise to the top, in my opinion.
Exactly. You're no longer going to get to the top specifically based on your merits alone.
Yeah, because anyone can get it. Like we can record an album this week and we can release it in the same platform as somebody else. Whereas getting a record deal, getting the chance to even release an album used to be hard work, slog, gigging, you know, promotional tours, meeting the right producers, doing all this. Because even if you recorded your own album, getting it to a record label was very difficult. Now you don't even need a record label, really. You know,
Crazy,
even
right?
recording was hard. Like back in the day, even like having the opportunity to record required saving, planning, budgeting, marketing yourself to people, like doing a lot of work business wise on the front end before you actually recorded any music. Whereas now you can just record music, which is baseline a very good thing, but it means that it's harder to distinguish between the really great ones and the not great ones for a layman. And there are more laymen than there are people with a historical knowledge or a contextual knowledge or a background in the art, or you know, there's just way more laymen than exceptional listeners.
Yeah,
for lack of a better term. And I think that's a good thing. But yeah, it makes you go. It would definitely make someone like, yeah, I can understand why someone like a Jay-Z or a Nas would be like, yeah, they still care about the 90s shit, you know. They've still got that same attitude towards you. It's like, nah, you motherfucker, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Lie, man.
I think that's a good, healthy thing, you know.
It is, and it's like, and like I said, like it keeps you on your toes, bro. Like that's one of the reasons why both of these cats haven't stopped rapping. Like Jay has announced his retirement before in the past, but yet he's still out here. At least, you know, he's still out here making albums, and he's still out here, you know, like doing projects and actually at least doing singles. You know what I'm saying? So so that says a lot. It's like he's getting to the point, or he's gotten to the point. Both artists have gotten to the point where they don't have to rap anymore because they got their money all over the place, making, you know, working for them, but. They're doing it for the art and for the love, man. And that's, I mean, I you know, I really appreciate, as a hip hop fan, I do appreciate it. I'm not even like the biggest Jay-Z fan, but I do appreciate the fact that he's still making music, even though he doesn't have to.
I mean, the listeners are all the better for it.
Yeah.
We win. You know, it doesn't matter which one of them disses the other harder. It's like we all win because we get more and more because they're only going to try and make their best shit
Yeah,
to get to the other one. You know, it's great.
Exactly.
But yeah, I like seeing people that
yeah.
you know have won that much in life still like they're still like they're still working for the working for the art.
Right. I love it.
And they're living off the interest, but they're still working for the art.
Exactly.
That creates the interest, you know. So
I love it because, like I said,
that.
like you don't have to, but you continue to do it, and you do it for the people too. It's amazing. But at the same time, like with the whole beef thing, before we move on, because I'm a bit of the same. Like, I'm the type of person, man. Like I gotta get payback, and it's something that I'm working on within myself. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same. Yeah.
But yeah, man, because I'm like it started when I was a kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother is like 12 years older than me. So and we're we love basketball. You know, like we grew up just playing basketball and stuff like that. He really like balls. Like he really loves playing basketball. And being 12 years older than you, bro, like I'm trying to bring the basketball court down, you know, so I can like dunk it or shoot it. I'm trying to bring the court down to like 4 feet. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm bringing the court down because I want to like be able to shoot better." And he's like, "Nah, son, nah, no, we're not doing that around here. We're going to bring this court up to regulation height like the NBA players. And that's how you going to shoot." So I'm like this tall. You know what I'm saying? Shooting up.
I'm still that tall, so
you know. But
so Steve,
but no, like it was tough, man. And then like I had those days where, you know, like because of that, like I had to work extra hard, and I had a big brother who was like always like, you know, one upping me. So of course I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get you back. And I never forget, man. Like I never forget the first time I blocked this shot. I was 2 through. I had to been like 14, 15. Man, he put up this shot. I capped that joint. It went all across the street somewhere. I had to go in the neighbor's yard and get it. I'm telling you, man. And that was it for me, you know. And he knew, you know what I'm saying? So fast forward, we get to like a park. We were somewhere at a park somewhere, and this guy, I think I put up a shot, and this guy had blocked it. And I was like, okay. I didn't get mad. I was just like, all right. And my brother was on my team, and he was like, "Oh, he gonna get you back." He told everybody on the court, he's gonna get you back. And the rest of the game, I tried so hard to just like get that one up on that guy, you know. And I think I like stole the ball, and I like shot a 3 or something like that, you know, in his face or whatever. And, you know, and that was it, you know what I'm saying? Now we're even. But you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like, I say all that to say, like I'm just one of those guys where I just grew up with that competitive nature. You know, trying to keep up with other people, trying to keep up with my brother. And it's healthy because it's like it, you know, it keeps you going. It makes you work harder, you know what I'm saying? And it makes you appreciate that hard work too, you know? Yeah. So yeah, man, like I'm here for it. I'm here for it, man. I mean, as long as it remains healthy.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
I'm exactly the same, you know. How happy was I that day that I won that chess game with you two? Like when I was telling you, I was like, guys, I did it. I fucking got him. Like, and I could see it coming from a mile away that I was going to win that game. Right. And I was like, I've been trying since March, and it's like what, July maybe when this happened.
That's all it takes, man.
I've been working hard. I've been practicing because that guy was better than me.
That's all it takes is that one up.
Yeah, and it's okay to not be as good as someone at something, but it's not okay with me.
Right.
I've just as I've gotten older, I've just learnt to pick my battles better.
There you go.
I'm not going to play basketball against someone who's very tall and actually plays basketball. I don't even understand basketball. So I know not to play that game. I know not to play volleyball because I would risk like hurting my thumbs, and that's going to be bad for a guitar player. Right. I pick my battles more, so the natural like competitive part of me.
Right. Because you know you can win, you know. There's a possibility that you can win. A high chance that you can win.
If I can see a way with like hard work and perseverance, like if you're like get that Hulk Hogan style, like take your vitamins to your press, brother.
Right.
You can rise to the occasion. But yeah, I think with age comes the wisdom to pick your battles. But the competitive thing, like I'm competitive with myself, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So
it's a good thing. A competitive gene is like, I think it's a very good thing. Like I always say that like having like a giant ego is also a very healthy thing if you have it, if you can keep it in check the right way.
Exactly. I was about to say,
because I always say that as a musician, I am constantly driven by this like green envious rage that I have towards, like, if someone does something that I can't do musically, it drives me insane. And I have to be able to do it 3 clicks faster than them.
You got to get that checked out, brother. That's
no.
That doesn't sound good.
No, but well, yeah, I tell you what does sound good: the results of me working to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh god,
you want to like people like say, you know, like how much do you practice? I'm like, it depends on who I'm trying to beat, or like what I'm trying to get done at this certain time. Like, you know,
oh Jesus. So
I think I worked like really hard on my singing for a good fucking year, like way harder than I should have, because it was not my job. Just because someone said that I was mediocre, I was like, I'll fucking show you. I'll start getting paid for that shit. So then I did. You know,
there you go.
But yeah,
right, so,
you know, competition is a good thing if you can keep a lid on the psycho-ness.
Right.
Just a little bit. You just, you know, like,
yeah.
Just like if you can keep doing this all the time, you're gonna be okay. If you let the lid loose, then you're fucked.
Right.
But
so let's get into this next track, man. Blue Benz. What you guys think? Steve, what you think?
The first couple of tracks molded into one for me. I know that's not the idea. I like the flashback to it. It felt like, is it? Sorry, I've got the lyrics to it. It's about the tunnel. Used to be the tunnel 20 deep in a huddle, razors on us like we make the skin bubble, and all that. It just like it's a flashback to, you know, a better time almost, like in reliving that time, which I presume would be the late 80s, early 90s when he first started being able to get to any club and all that sort of time. You know, same as the one he's talking about the car as well. I like it. Yeah. The big bomb for me on this album, nothing really hit me hard on this album. There's not one song that stood out massively for me. And I think that's more down to the beats not being to my personal taste, really. Which is a shame, because that means that I didn't pay as much attention to the lyrics as maybe I would have done with. It's because I've grown up listening to Dre and that type of stuff. So there's certain hip hop beats that just draw me in, and some that wash over me a little bit. And this sort of did. But no, I like the song. I like the feel in this song. I mean, everything's really well produced on this album. Like really well done. It's the same producer. I've forgotten the guy's name.
Something hits.
Yeah, what's his name? God,
the guy that did
Hit Boy.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
yeah. He's done a great job. I know. Nas
didn't he do Kanye and Jay-Z? That guy.
He's done
might have, to be honest. Yeah, Hit
did
Boy.
He do that shit Cray song? He did that, right?
I think so.
There you go. Look at that. Jay-Z, Nas uses the same guy to do the fucking
Well, I mean, you know, shoot, like Kanye worked on the Nasir album, and it was crap.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No one liked that album.
Right? Yeah, it was whack. Like we almost don't even want to, you know, put it in his discography for real.
But that's why this album is important, to get the right producer behind it, and you know, even though it's not particularly my taste, it probably is the right producer as like a comeback to that bad album.
It could be, and
seems very controlled.
You know, Nas, once again, like you guys got to see the Nas interview. He just dropped it like a couple days ago with The Breakfast Club, because he talks about like the process, the creative process of this album. And
Oh, that'd be interesting, actually.
yeah, well, he didn't really go in too much detail, but he said that the difference between working on any other album and then doing this album with Hit Boy as the producer. He said that, man, sometimes like he'll be in the studio just like working some stuff out, and Hit Boy would just be like, yeah, say that, yeah, that's good, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
So like, he didn't feel limited. Like he didn't feel like, like, oh, like, am I doing too much? He said like even one time like they would just be in there just like chilling, talking, and Nas would just be like saying something, and he'll say something so powerful, and then Hit Boy's like, dang, like, yeah, man, that sound like a bar, bro. Like, you should write that down. And he's like, for real? He's like, yeah, bro, like, write that down, man. Let's put that on the track. Like, like let's make that work. Let's, do this, let's do that. So he was just really like, just like kind of letting go of the reins and letting Nas just like really do his thing. And he just made the beats, and he just really, it was just a lot of encouragement behind, the songwriting, in this album. You know what I'm saying? So
you get a taste of that. Have you guys watched what's that Dre documentary on Netflix right now? Like him and the
Defiant Ones?
Yeah, that's the one. Like you see snippets of
him and Jimmy Iovine?
Yeah. But I'm thinking about I think it's in the first one or two episodes. You see Ice Cube going to the studio. And like the relationship those two have when they're in the studio together.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like that.
Right.
It's say that.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, give it a bit more of this, and they have like little code words for each other and stuff.
Right,
and
right. Because you got some of these cats, bro, like some of these producers who like, they really take advantage of the whole session, and they want everything to kind of go their way. And the artists or the actual writer, they're just kind of like, all right, that's cool, I guess, yeah, let's do it, let's try it, and then whatever set is set. So so the fact that he just let Nas just really do his thing and just kind of say whatever he wanted, and it came out to be dope, that says a lot,
Well, I think he's given freedom, but he's also controlled him to some extent. He must have done, because like,
oh yeah, of course,
the songs are short and to the point.
They're very short.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, not all of them. I mean,
there's not one song that goes past 4 minutes.
I don't know. Well, maybe, I guess, like, to me, it's enough, because he gets the 2 verses out and the 2 hooks. I mean,
that might have been all he wrote.
Yeah, it's great,
which is fine.
Yeah.
It seemed like an overall note that I would have on this album is that and me and Steve were talking about it before you signed into the chat. We both said this. We both went, yeah. It was just odd to us that the album with 13 tracks is only 38 minutes long.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not used to Nas tunes being that short, I guess. I'm used to him branching out. Yeah. But I don't know if he was any less like descriptive, or if he told less, specific stories or anything like that. Like he still just it seems like a Nas record, but it seems like everything just goes by way quicker.
Yeah.
Everything's just over quicker. Like that's like the general thing that I keep thinking of every time every tune I'm listening to. I'm like, oh man, that was quick.
Yeah.
I thought there'd be at least one more verse, or
I don't know, because I still feel like, I mean, maybe a couple more bars in the verses.
Maybe maybe each verse goes for 4 more bars or something.
Yeah, because I feel like Nas got enough out of he got enough out in a lot of these songs.
Like I'm not saying that it sounds unfinished or anything. I'm just saying that it sounds. It's just quicker. It's just the same. It's like he's gone. Yeah, because like we mentioned that like the last studio album, like not his greatest work, I don't think, but this one's an improvement. Yeah, at least as far as I'm concerned. It seems like he's kind of gone back to the things that he knows he's good at.
But I have a point to make.
Okay,
I have a point to make, because now I'm like, okay, what if he purposely did that? What if he purposely made these tracks shorter? Because you think about it, a lot of these artists nowadays, um, they know that the attention span of listeners nowadays, man, have gone kaput. So and you got to remember too, like Nas is still doing this for the people. He even talked about like because we're going to get into Car 85, another song.
Is that next?
I believe so. Yep,
Yeah,
that's the next song.
Yeah.
Because he was so nervous about about putting that song on a record because he was like, man, like I wasn't sure if people were going to understand. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably going to fly over a few people's heads because like people like Car 85, what the heck does that mean? You know, I'm listening to it. It sounds good, but what is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, and we'll get into that. And I can't wait to get into it with Grant because it's going to tie into the Get Down, the show that you watched. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, like, I think I say all of that to say, like, Nas is trying to, I believe that, he wants to put out the music that he wants to put out, but at the same time, he just wants people to understand it. And every artist would want that. Every writer would want that. Everybody wants to be, they want to be understood, but they also want to have that creative freedom. I'm like that every time I'm writing. I'm like, well, dang, like if I write this, like I'm gonna have to be literal because people are so stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like I want this to be hard, man, but like if I put it out there, like, are people going to understand exactly what I'm saying, in this singy-songy rhyme scheme that I'm spitting here,
That's one thing about Blue Benz as well, is that it's kind of presented like a high school essay. You know what I mean? Or like because it starts off and it's like a subject and a question, and then he discusses.
Right.
Did you guys notice that?
I mean, I didn't put it like that, but I like how you broke it down like that. That's interesting. Yeah.
Well, it's like when you were in high school and you had to write an essay, and then and they gave you a specific you got a bunch of different questions. It's like okay, so like the end of Billy Madison or fucking whatever. It's the Industrial Revolution. Blah, 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 discuss business ethics and elaborate, and then you have to write your essay. But you would put the topic or the question that you were going to answer or whatever. You put that at the start of the essay, and then you would write the essay underneath it with double spacing, so you had room for notes and corrections and whatnot from the teacher, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's straight away. I thought, oh, okay. Like this track, and I guess we're about to talk about Car 85, but they both seem. This one seems very. These two tracks together, they seem like a little nostalgia dip, like the biggest nostalgia dip in the record.